Disclaimer: it was a fanfiction story created by me. Please don't take it seriously. There is no match in this story and real life.
Jeon with a tired and serious face. I have called Jack here. Liam shocked even more. What? Why would you call him there? Jeon, because it's time he pays off for what he did. Liam, please can you just tell me clearly what you are planning to do? Jeon, you will find out soon, Yuj. When we reached there, Liam's heartbeat grew faster. He glanced at Jeon's expression. It was cold, unreadable, and full of some heavy emotion that made the air around them feel tense. They walked in silence toward their destination. An hour later, when they finally reached the area, they saw Jack already there. The old anger and smile were gone from his face. Now it was that showed when he saw Jeon. Jeon and Liam walked up to him and Jeon said, Jeon, look Jack, I won't go around this. I will say it straight. The you committed are unforgivable. If I try to get to you, you will find a way to escape again and probably repeat the same things. I don't want to take the into my hands. And your brother is no. He has Jack, please Jeon Jungkook, whatever you want to say, do it to me. Just leave my brother out of this. Jeon, oh, you really love your brother, huh? But did you ever think about the the ones you, from this? They were also someone's loved ones. Jack didn't say a word, but from his silence it was clear he neither regretted nor had any intention of changing. Both Jeon and Liam could sense that, so Jeon spoke again. Jeon, it's useless to try to make you understand. Alright, I will give you two options. First, you sell for what you have. Jeon pointed toward the area behind them. Jeon, you know exactly what I mean. So either you give yourself for your and I will take care of your brother, or you do nothing and I will release all the you and your brother. After that you already know how the public will you both. They will you down. The choice is yours. After saying this, Jeon turned to Liam and said, Jeon, let's go, Liam. After saying that, both of them left the place and started walking back home. They didn't say a word. It was midnight, and the silence of the night surrounded them completely. The only sound that could be heard was the rhythm of their breath. Finally, halfway through the road, Liam broke the silence and spoke to Jeon. Liam, do you really think someone like Jack will himself for what he? Jeon, I'm not 100% sure, but there's at least a 50% chance because he loves Nick deeply. Maybe just for his brother's sake, he will do something. Liam, and don't you think if Owen finds out that you told Jack, I will take care of Nick, what will she do to you? Maybe what you touch her will come back on you. Jeon smiled. So you still don't get it? Liam, what? Jeon, if Jack is for his, then I will put Nick A. Liam, totally shocked. What? Jeon, yes, because that's what he. And honestly, where else would be better to keep someone like him safe and cared for? Liam, if Jack wanted, he could have easily from here with his brother, right? Jeon, and where would he even to? Liam, to another country maybe? Jeon, you think I can go to another country too? And even if he did, once the him went, no matter where he hides, he'd still be. Liam, then why didn't you make that? That would be an even better one for him. Jeon, if I actually had any, then sure I'd make it. As soon as Liam heard that, his step suddenly stopped. He stared at Jeon in shock, disbelief written all over his face. Seeing him like that, Jeon smirked slightly, his expression calm and mysterious. Jeon, when I found out about Owen's past, from that moment I started digging into everything about Nick and Jack, and while doing that I come across someone, David's former servant. He was the one who told me everything about dates. He also said that even though he wanted to take and he couldn't do anything because he had no real and no one would have believed just his words. On top of that, Jack was so that it won't have taken him long to get rid of that. That's why the servant stayed quiet. But after I learned everything from him, I started getting pieces of and carefully added them into the story, bit by bit. Since so many years had passed, after that, Jack didn't remember much about it anymore, and that's exactly why my plan worked perfectly. Liam, he said in total shock, mind blowing, but why didn't you tell us earlier, John, so that both of you could stay stress free? And the only reason I brought you here with me tonight was to make sure you don't stay worried about Wayne. Because no matter what happens, I will make sure her get. And it's better if Wayne never finds out about all this, because handling something this heavy will break her. Liam, a soft smile appeared on his face. Finally, I can relax a little for my sister because the one protecting her is you. Jeon smiled. After that, neither of them said anything else. When they finally reached Jeon's house, Liam took his car and drove home. But before leaving, he told Jeon, Liam, now all we can do is wait for tomorrow. We will finally see what Jack chooses. Both of them went their separate ways. The next morning, Liam's sleep was broken again by the sound of his ringing phone. And just like last night, it was Jeon calling. The moment Liam saw Jeon's name on the caller ID, all his sleep disappeared. His heart jumped and he quickly answered. Jeon spoke first. Jeon, did you get the news, Liam? Liam already tense. Oh, what news? Liam's chest tightened. His mind went straight to the fear. What if Jack found out the was fake? What if everything backfires? Before he could ask anything else, someone began knocking loudly on his bedroom door. When Liam told to come in, Wayne rushed inside, breathless and Wayne, Liam, did you see the news? Liam, again news? What new trouble has that working digester created now? Saying that, Liam cut Jeon's call and quickly opened the news on his phone, and the moment he saw the headline, his eyes widened and a wave of shocked happiness washed over him. The news said, Liam, excited, almost breathless. Oh my god, finally he got for everything he did. When you were right, she smiled softly, relief shining in her eyes. Today I am safe. Today I am breathing freely. Only because of Mr. Jeon. I shall go and thank him. Liam, you are right. Go meet him. Wan happily left the house and headed straight toward her destination, Jeon. This time when she arrived, she didn't go to the reception, nor did she knock on the door before entering Jeon's cabin. She simply pushed the door open and walked right in. Seeing her suddenly appear like that, Jeon stood up instantly, totally surprised. But before his reaction could even form properly, Wan ran toward him and wrapped her arms around him in a that's how much trust she had in him, the kind of trust where she could literally throw herself into his arms without fear, knowing he would never let her fall. Even if the balance slipped, both would fall together, and she still didn't hesitate. Jeon was surprised, shocked, and then slowly a warm smile spread across his face. They stayed like that for a few moments, holding each other in quiet relief. Then they pulled away gently. Jeon sat down on his chair, and Wan stood beside him, talking to him softly. Jeon, are you happy now? Wan smiled. Not just happy, I am very happy today. Jeon, teasingly. Then where's my reward? Wan, light blush on her cheeks. Reward? For what? You didn't do anything. Whatever happened to us on karma. Jeon, I helped you overcome your fear, right? So don't you think I deserve some reward? He made an innocent, cute face. One heart did one teeny flip at that expression, even though she tried to hide it. Jeon, smiling, so now where do you want to? While looking directly into his eyes and speaking softly. On a mole that is under the moon? Jeon confused. On a mole, and that too under the moon. Since when do moles grow under the moon? When they do, and when the right time comes, you will also see it. Just then the cabin door opened and Sophie stepped in while talking, but the moment her eyes fell on Wine and Jeon in that She froze, completely shocked, and seeing her, both Jeon and Wayne were equally shocked too. Before either Jeon or Wayne could say or do anything, Sophie suddenly screamed excitedly, "Sophie, oh my god, finally!" Saying only this, Sophie ran out of the cabin like a rocket. Jeon and Wayne stared at each other in pure shock. They already knew what was coming next, and thinking about it, Wayne suddenly started laughing. So Jeon looked at her and said, "Jeon, you were laughing a lot, huh? You do know what she is going to do, right?" "And that's exactly why I am laughing, Mr. John. Just wait. When we step out of this cabin, everyone is going to stare at you." "John, now?" As soon as John asked that, one stood up from his and teasingly said to him, "One, now you handle yourself. I am leaving." Laughing, Wine ran out of John's cabin. But the moment she stepped outside, she froze on the spot because almost everyone in the cleaning staff, even they were standing right outside the cabin in a full crowd, and as soon as one came out, everyone stared at her like they were seeing a human for the first time. Some people were smiling, some were shocked, and some looked like they were about to faint. Their reactions were all over the place. Just then, the cabin door opened again, and Jeon stepped out, grabbed Wine's purse, and pulled her back into the cabin. That sudden move shocked the entire crowd even more. Inside the cabin, Wine looked at Jeon and said, Mr. Jeon, what did you just do? Why did you pull me inside the cabin like that in front of everyone? Now everyone will think that something is going between us." John is making, "So that's even better, right? Because why should I suffer alone?" Teasing tone, eyes sparkling with one cheek, turning red, trying hard to hide her smile. "Mr. Jeon, I am leaving." Right after saying that, Rowan rushed to the door again. She quickly opened it and stepped out, but this time she didn't look at anyone. Not a single face. She just ran away. Her cheeks were completely red with shyness. Her heart beat fast like she was escaping a storm. After this, Jeon walked out of the cabin. He stepped outside calmly, acting totally normal, even though everyone around him was staring at waiting curious. He cleared his throat slightly and then spoke to everyone as if nothing dramatic had just happened. "John, it's not what you all are thinking. There's nothing like that. She is just mine." But before he could finish, Sophie jumped in and cut him off. "Sophie, you're really so nowadays you treat your by making them sit." Sophie's sharp question completely shut Jeon up. His words just froze. Honestly, who would believe him now? Their action clearly showed something else. No matter how much he denied it, poor Jeon, he couldn't explain the bond between him and Wayne, even if he wanted to. How do you explain a connection that even your own heart doesn't fully understand? Sometimes silence is easier, right? They started passing like this. One day, finally, Amy and Ellen sat with Wayne and asked her directly about her and Jill. What is going on between them? What kind of relationship they have? This time, Wayne didn't hide anything. She softly confessed that she secretly John, but Jian doesn't know about it. Hearing this, Ellen's heart broke, but he didn't show it because he truly loved Wayne, and for him, her happiness was his own happiness. So he stayed quiet, even though his chest felt heavy. And just like that, every day Wayne started going to meet Jeon. Now, the behavior of everyone in the had completely changed toward her. Everyone greeted her with a warm smile, talking to her with so much respect. Wayne knew the reason behind all of this, and that reason always made her blush a little inside. Slowly, a few weeks passed like this, and postponed Wayne's university holiday trip and rescheduled it for 2 weeks later. Everything was going fine except for one thing. Once it was like she had completely forgotten that she didn't pay attention to her. She didn't focus on any classes, and now she had to visit Jeon at the. Seeing all this, Liam tried to explain things to her, but it was like one was completely lost in Jeon, as if his presence was stuck in her mind, like she wasn't ready to listen to anything. This put Liam in a touch position. He didn't want to scold his sister, but he also had to do something because this was about her future. So, with no other option left, Liam called Jeon and told him everything. After hearing everything from Liam, Jeon was shocked. He had no idea that Wayne had been doing all this while ignoring her. He never wanted Wayne to face any loss because of him, even if it was related to her. So he decided to talk to her, but that didn't help either. Wayne, instead of understanding him, started explaining him that she later. So Jeon understood that this time he would have to be a little with Wayne, so he would focus on her. When she went to meet her the next day, Jeon told her to sit in the waiting room. Wayne felt a little confused by this, but she didn't think too much about it. But the real limit was crossed when, even after she waited for hours, Jeon left for his home without meeting her at all. Wayne was now really angry, so while still sitting in the she called Jeon and burst out in frustration. On call. Wayne, Mr. John, how can you do this? I have been sitting here for hours waiting for you, and you went home without even meeting me? John coldly. Look, Wayne, I have a lot of work, and I don't have useless free time to waste. Just those few words from John were used to bring tears into Wayne's eyes. Wayne sadly, Mr. John, are you okay? I mean, are you angry at me? Did I do something wrong? John, listen, Wayne, please just go home, okay? I have a lot of work, and unlike you, I don't have extra time to waste. Okay, bye, coldly. Jeon cut the call. Even though Jeon's words were harsh, his intentions were not harsh at all. He simply didn't want Wayne's career to get ruined, and he had already tried to explain everything to her with love, but Wayne was not ready to listen at all. That's why Jeon chose this. Jeon was sure that after his behavior, Wayne would reduce her focus on him and start focusing on her again. But Jeon had no idea that his little action would create such a big reaction. And Jeon didn't know that Wayne loved him. Everyone knows when we love someone, their actions and their words hurt us the most. Jeon's harsh words had completely broken Wayne from inside. She felt both anger and pity toward herself, sitting there in the same place crying. Suddenly she started talking to herself. One, so this is all the space I had in your heart, and I was the foolish one who misunderstood your sweet words as love. Now my presence irritates you, right? Fine, just watch. I will disappear so completely that even if you want to see me, you won't be able to. You were right. I was wasting my precious time on you. You were a very busy man, so stay busy. From now on, I will never come to meet you, and I won't talk to you either. Everything is finished. As she said these words in her trembling voice, tears kept falling non-stop. Her heart felt heavy, but she still focused herself to wipe her face. She stood up with shaky legs, trying to look strong, even though she was breaking inside. One left that place while crying. Jeon had assumed she would just be a little angry at him, and once her anger cooled down, she would understand everything on her own. But one was completely broken from inside, crying until she could barely breathe. That night she cried the entire night. Then somehow she gathered herself and decided to focus on her again. She blocked Jeon's number and started concentrating on her life. But not many days passed, just 2 days, and Jeon was already restless. The girl who used to call or message him the whole day, there was no sign of her now. The girl who stayed close to him from morning till night, he hadn't even heard her voice in these 2 days. He messaged many times, he called many times, but nothing worked. Jeon also understood that one had blocked him, which made him even more worried. Finally, Jeon contacted Liam so that maybe he thought him he could talk to Wayne, at least one. But Wayne clearly told Liam that she was very busy and she had no time for useless things. Hearing that, Jeon understood she was taking on him was going to hit him really hard. Jeon also realized that he needed to tell Wayne as soon as possible that every harsh words he said was a lie, that he only wanted her to stop focusing on him and concentrate on her. That's why he behaved that way. But how would he explain anything when he couldn't even meet her or talk to her? One had completely disappeared, as if she was hiding from the whole world. John did everything he could, but still he couldn't meet Wayne. He visited her house, he waited outside her home for hours, and he even started waiting for her outside her too, but nothing worked. Every time one slipped away before he could reach her, and nobody knew where she went, not even Liam. Yes, Jeon even asked Liam for help to convince her, but one wasn't ready to listen to Liam either, and Liam knew very well that if he interfere too much in his sister's matter. One might get angry and create distance from him too, something he really didn't want. Finally, June found a way to meet Wan. First, she confirmed with Liam whether Wan was at home or not. Once Liam said yes, June secretly reached her house in the and getting inside wasn't a problem at all because Liam was already there to help him quietly.